If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about this. Yo, GMS fam, what's going on, man? I don't want to hold y'all too long because this ain't finna be a long show or whatnot, man. This is something that came across my way this morning, and I had to talk about it with y'all, and I had to talk about what was going on here because I seen what was happening. I knew that the narrative was about to get shifted a little bit during this time, and I know every time something happens in a big setting, you know, people immediately look at the person who is performing, the headliner, and they immediately want to try to demonize that person and make that person the cause of what happened, right? Now, for those who don't know, Travis Scott had a Astroworld festival, and he had, I believe this was the third. I don't know. It was one of the annual Astroworld festivals. Hold on one second. And it ended tragically last night. Recorded so far, 11 people have died. I believe there's a rumor that one of those people was a 10-year-old child who was trampled in a stampede. It's a fucked up situation, man. I've been to a lot of concerts. I've seen the mass crowds. I've seen how people act in those crowds. I've seen it to the point where you have to hold other people accountable when it comes to the way that they handle themselves in these situations. Now, let me read this for you about what happened. Hold on one second. There we go. All right. Astroworld Fest. 8 died. This was an earlier report. 8 died, nearly 20 hospitalized. They're saying that the chief of Harris County and let's see. And the Houston police chief confirmed during the press conference the deaths and injuries at the Astroworld Festival at NRG Park on Friday night. The crowd started to compress toward the front of the stage, according to Pine, which is the person's name. Medics were performing CPR on victims once they started to fall out from the crowd. When police realized there was a mass casualty event happening around 9:30 p.m., police spoke with the promoters and Live Nation, the festival organizers, to stop the show early, to which Travis Scott complied. 23 people were transported to area hospitals, with 17 of them hospitalized after the incident. 11 of those victims were in cardiac arrest during transport. A victim as young as 10 years old was taken to the hospital. This is an ongoing investigation. The officer also said they think that some drugs were involved. Somebody said people were getting drugs put in them or something. I don't know. It was a wild allegation, but not to read too much into the article. Let's hear from somebody else's voice who was actually there at the festival, who actually talked about what happened.
It just felt like we was like literally like in fucking hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe. You couldn't see. Like just imagine all the people they gonna find tonight who was in that crowd, who nobody could see, who nobody could hear, who passed out, and everybody was just trampling on top of them the whole fucking concert. Like, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like at least 100 people who dead tonight. Like, I kid you not. Like, in the VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out. People was getting pulled out who was fainted, and the medics were trying to give them CPR, and they was flipping them over, and like they was literally turning black and blue. Like, I never seen death in my fucking life, bro. Just by me alone, it was probably like 10 fucking people laid out dead. And like once the medics tried to help them, they wasn't responding. They moved to the next person. It was nothing they could have do. Like this shit really fucked me up and like really spooked me tonight. Like that was like some demonic shit. Like, and what was so crazy, like people were screaming help, trying to tell Travis Scott. They was like help. The whole crowd was just going like help, help, help. And he just kept going, bro. It was like, that shit was scary, bro. It was so demonic, bro. And mind you, y'all see the type of music I make. Y'all see everything, like, you know, like I've been so heavily influenced by Travis, but like after tonight, bro, like God really showed me, like, you know, like stay away from that shit, bro. Like that shit not for you, cause like he sacrificed so many people's lives tonight, like for real, like so many people's lives.
Now that's what I mean by the narrative. You talking about somebody who's on stage performing, and the fact that they have paramedics, security, and all types of other professionals on the scene for things like that. Travis is there to perform. He's not there to jump out into the crowd and help people. Now, I understand what people mean by stopping the concert and seeing what's going on, but you also have to understand this is what I mean by my experience going to concerts. Every concert I've ever been to, somebody has passed out. Either one or multiple people have passed out, and it didn't have to be a super thick crowd to where people couldn't move. It's usually it was either from a mix of drugs or being packed in tight or just whatever the case may be. But people pass out on every concert that I've gone to. So imagine an artist who has toured all over the place and has been involved in multiple hundreds of thousands of concerts. They probably seen multiple people pass out. What they do is they continue to perform. If they had to stop every time somebody passed out at a festival, they have to stop damn near every 30 seconds. Now, there's a video that's going around showing Travis Scott standing like looking towards somebody, looking directly at somebody while still singing a song. They took that clip and made it seem like Travis was just singing while staring at somebody being taken out unconscious. But the video that is extended, the longer video of that, shows Travis Scott directing security to go and get that guy. And Travis Scott didn't take his eyes off that area until that man was taken. Now, like I said, these are performers. He has to continue to perform. There's nothing he can do. He can't jump out and go get that guy. That's what the professionals are there for. That's why he called for the professionals to go and get him to try to save that dude, whoever it was who passed out. And they were asked to stop this is the thing. You're talking about a festival with thousands of people, over 50,000 people. You have to get the word to somebody to stop a concert when something is happening, and that's what happened. You read it in the article. As soon as the authorities found out that there were a mass casualty event happening, they let the promoters know, they let Travis know, and they cut the show early. They cut it because of what was going on, because that's what you do. People acted like Travis just kept going or kept telling these people to keep performing or just said, fuck y'all, I don't give a fuck, let's keep raging. Wow. People were dying in the crowd. No, they had to stop the concert. Now, this is the thing. I have to bring up this other shit because, just like I said, I've been to certain events. I've seen how some people have reacted. Now, the people that are talking about or trying to put blame on Travis Scott without having to look at the individuals that are coming into the show, look at how these people enter this shit. Look at this. This is before the concert even. This is hours before the concert started. A bunch of kids bum rushing the entrance, knocking down security. Look at that. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. And you trying to put all the blame on Travis Scott. Look at this shit. Look at these kids. This is before the fucking, he wasn't even coming on stage yet. No, it wasn't all drug related. None of that. They were just saying that some of that shit may be. That's rumor. So I'm not even gonna put that in the air. But look at this shit. Look at this shit. So this is what I'm saying. This is a part of what I'm saying, like as far as accountability. Now, I am aware of that, by the way. I am aware of that. But I'm pretty sure Travis didn't mean to bombard the gates like that. He's talking about getting to the fucking show and getting in and making sure that they pack the shit out. Travis didn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, security can't do shit about that. It's just a mixture. You can't put full blame on Travis. Now Travis, knowing if he saw some shit going on, he needed to speak up and he needed to do his part from that. I'm not taking full blame away from Travis. I'm just saying that I see what's about to happen. Because all that blame is going to get pushed on him the way that the narrative is starting. You already got that video I just showed you. Oh, that dude talking about his experience, the way that he's wording shit, talking about how it was demonic, talking about how, and then on top of that, gonna start talking about his music. Like it's clear what he was doing with his video, but the way that they were putting it, he's basically saying it was Travis's fault for why all that shit happened. In reality, these kids have something to do with this as well. And that's another thing. Just because Travis said, yeah, I want you to rush the gates, does that mean a whole bunch of senseless motherfuckers are just going to be, yeah, let's fucking bombard the gates and tear this bitch down? Nah, man, some people have to have some common sense. That's another point that I'm trying to make about how these kids are just, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, that's my whole point. But let me steer you to exactly what my point is. You can't put full blame on Travis. This is my point. You can't put full blame on Travis. Now, listen to how this went. This is another example of what I mean. Other people that are involved in this shit, from the actual people that were on hand seeing everything that was actually happening, opposed to somebody who's on stage performing for the entire crowd. I'm talking about there were cameramen and security guards right next to what was happening, and they weren't doing shit. And I'm going to read this for you. This was somebody that was there at the concert. She said, who I am in this story is not important. Rather, it is important the things I have now witnessed. Astroworld Fest, Texas. Travis Scott is the one performing. I don't know how many people were at the festival, but I do know that every single person was at that stage. My friend and I wanted to be close to the stage, as close as we could possibly get. We were not able to get very close, but we did end up on the side near the walkway in the middle. Surrounding us were chest-high metal gates, barriers. We stood there for 2 hours, as did every other person. Every gap was filled. Where your feet were placed was where they stayed. Energy rose is the time near beginning the show. I don't know what the fuck that is. Within the first 30 seconds of the first song, people began to drown. In other people, that's what she meant. People began to drown in other people, meaning there were like sinkholes basically opening up from people and people basically getting sucked into them. There were so many people, tall men, women, and men were where the only thing they could see was the back of the person in front of them. The rush of people became tighter and tighter. Breathing became something only a few were capable of. Let me move this over so I can actually see this shit. Few were capable of. The rest were crushed or unable to breathe in the thick, hot air. My friend began to gasp for breath, and she told me we needed to get out. We tried. There was nowhere to go. The shoving got harder and harder. If someone's arms had been up, it was no longer a possibility to put it down. So people began to choke one another as the mass swayed. It became more and more violent. We began to scream for help. We could see security just a few people over in the walkway in the middle. It got tighter, impossible to breathe, as our lungs were compressed between the bodies of those surrounding us. More people began to scream for help. Some began to collapse. The music continued. Hundreds of people ripped their vocal cords apart, screaming for help, but we were not heard. There was nowhere to go. My friend was trapped between people on every side of her, and she desperately tried to move towards the rail. It was no use. The screaming intensified. As more people realized they could not breathe, we begged security to help us, for the performer to see us and know something was wrong. None of that came. We continued to drown more and more. One person fell or collapsed. It doesn't matter how it started. Once one fell, a hole opened in the ground. It was like watching a Jenga tower topple. Person after person were sucked down. You could not guess from which direction the shove of hundreds of people would come next. That's another thing I want to say before I continue reading. Understand that at these large gatherings, these large concerts, there is a thing that happens when you have these notable and popular artists, and when they have these crowds that go crazy over them. These motherfuckers, it's like a wave. Like, people don't know how they can't control it. I've been in it. Front row with nowhere to go. And having a wave of people push forward and having my chest and my stomach pressed against a barrier without being able to move. And then being moved with the crowd as the wave kept going back and forth. And then I can only imagine that happening with thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. You definitely can't move. Now, you were at the mercy of the wave. I watched my friend be dragged away from me and lost sight of her. I began to realize in that moment that there is a way to die that not many people know about, being trampled to death. I saw a terror in every eye that I met, even the ones that told me to breathe and stay calm. We knew there was a very big chance of some of us would not make it out alive. I pushed away from the rail into the crowd of people where I could hear from another direction the shrieks of animals. It was happening all around me. These sinkholes of people, I was moved back towards the sinkhole I started at and was pushed to the edge of it. It sunk my feet into the ground, put my arms out, and tried to stop anyone from entering the circle or pushing those already in it. I was shoved further to the ground, my face down on the cold, hard plastic below us, and saw the body of a man, his face below mine. I lost it. There were people below the ones I could see from above. There was a floor of bodies of men and women below, 2 layers of fallen people above them. I began to shriek. I felt a primal tear rip through me. And I am not sure anyone understood the magnitude of the situation below. I screamed. There were people on the floor. There were people unconscious, being trampled by every foot that slammed into the ground as each individual tried to keep themselves upright. I saw his face. I became a shield for him. I think he smiled at me. Then I was shoved to the side. I saw more shoes slammed to the ground exactly in the spot his body lay, face up. I couldn't help him. I couldn't help any of them. I didn't stop screaming the entire time. No one knew there were people below those that they could see. I almost met the same fate. I was losing balance, and I asked the man to grab me. He pulled me up, and I righted myself for just a fraction of a second before I was sucked back into the crowd. I couldn't take what I saw. I had to get out. I had to get help. I had to do something. Somehow I went toward the back of the crowd at a guardrail. A man pulled me over it. There were so many people just standing there like nothing was happening, like people weren't dead a few feet from them. I saw the cameraman eyes glued to the stage, elevated on a platform that looked directly into the crowd. I climbed the ladder and pointed to the hole, telling him people were dying. He told me to get off the platform and continue filming. I screamed over and over again. He wouldn't even look in the direction, so I pushed the camera so it pointed toward where I had just come from. He became angry. He called someone else up. I had told him the same thing. People were dying. We needed to stop the music. We needed help. We needed attention towards the mass because I thought only these people were aware maybe they would do something. The other man grabbed my arm and told me he would push me off the 15-foot platform with no sides if I didn't get down. I told him to help. I told him people were dying. I showed him where. He wouldn't look in the direction either. I was in disbelief. Here are two people that could actually do something, had the power to do something, cut the camera, call in backup, pause something. They did nothing. I looked over at the sinkhole. People were screaming, reaching out their hands toward me, calling for help. I couldn't see the floor. The strangest thing happened in that moment. People began to boo at me. They pointed their fury at me, unleashed a rage. I screamed people were dying over and over. No one would listen. Somehow I ended up on the ladder going back down mindlessly. I should have ripped that camera to shreds. I looked the other guard in the eyes and told him he was the one responsible for countless deaths. He did nothing. I went under the platform, called 911. The only thing they said was they were calling the medics team in. Now, that right there alone put blame on the exact people that were sitting right there and could do nothing, or didn't and chose not to do nothing. Excuse me, let me correct myself. And I saw the video. As a matter of fact, just to confirm this story, there is a video. Where is this? Right here. This is the video. The girl that told that story, look at her up top, trying to tell the cameraman what's going on, pointing at the crowd, letting him look. The cameraman's like, get the fuck off. She said there's people dying. She's pleading with the guy. And he's worried about being on camera. They were trying to stop the show. I can't play the audio because it'll get copyrighted or whatever because of the music in the background, but this is what's going on. Pleading for help and getting told to move out the way. There's security everywhere. Look at this. Now when they start to get security in there, people are starting to trample the security. This is what I mean by taking accountability for some of the kids that were in there. This is security and paramedics and people trying to get to those that are fucked up over in a big mass crowd getting trampled. And these kids start standing on top of it, blocking it, dancing on top of it. I mean, like, for real. We talking about accountability on all sides. Astroworld Festival put out a statement. They said, our hearts are with the Astroworld Festival family tonight, especially those we lost and their loved ones. We are focused on supporting local officials however we can. With that in mind, the festival will no longer be held on Saturday. As authorities mentioned in their press conference earlier, they are looking into the series of cardiac arrests that took place. If you have any relevant information on this, please reach out to Houston Police. Thank you to our partners at the Houston Police Department, Fire Department, and NRG Park for their response and support. So as an officer who spoke out to the media said, they were hearing reports of people being given drugs and shooting up certain drugs or taking certain drugs during the concert, which led to multiple cardiac arrests. And that's just speculation. I don't know, but like I said, you can also die from being trampled over and not being able to breathe when so packed in and being so close together. So, man, let me just let y'all in on this, man. This shit didn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen. There was a lot of young individuals that lost their lives. These festivals, man, they shouldn't, you shouldn't be out there to go so fucking crazy that you lose sight of what's going on around you. That goes for the crowd, and that goes for the performers, and that goes for the security, paramedics, the cameramen. Everybody wants to be in a lit moment that they don't even realize what the fuck is going on. And just like they tried to put up a video of Travis sitting there singing and somebody being taken away unconscious, there's multiple videos of people on the ground unconscious with multiple individuals around them with their cameras up still trying to watch the concert with unconscious people around them. This is what I'm saying. It's wild, man. And I pray for the families, man. I send my condolences out to them, the people that lost their lives, their families. I'm sending positive energy to Travis Scott, because I know that this is gonna weigh on him, regardless of how you feel about him or what you think about him. I don't care if Travis is a millionaire. I don't care if he'll be well off. Oh, he's cool. He'll be sad for a few days, but back to being lit. Nah, man. You got to remember, certain people are human too. I'm not even a Travis Scott fan like that, man. I think he's a dope artist. I think he makes dope beats. He's very influential. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I play a lot of Travis Scott like that, but I am a human, and I do show empathy, you know, to a certain extent. And something like this is a major event, and it's gonna weigh on the people that were out in the crowd that saw it, who were traumatized by it. It's gonna weigh in on the families who lost their loved ones. It's gonna weigh in on the people who are still injured right now, laying up in the hospital after being at the festival. There's hundreds of people that are injured, man. A lot of people that are probably still, the death toll is probably still counting right now. So that's really all I wanted to get to, man. It's a really unfortunate situation. I really hope that kids can be more safe when they go to these festivals, when they go to these concerts, man, and really try to look out for one another, because this shit is way too easy to happen, man, when you're not thinking and when you're not being conscious of your surroundings. Artists need to do a better job of crowd control. And I will say this, you know, Travis Scott is one of those people who, you know, he bases his whole entire performance off raging. He wants to rage. He's all about raging. Open up the pits. That's one thing I didn't understand that hip-hop started to do, was taking the mosh pit shit from the rock shit. Now, leave that shit over there in rock and roll, man. Leave that mosh pit shit over there. I'm a nigga. I don't want to mosh pit nothing. I don't know why we opening up a circle just to run into each other. That don't make no fucking sense. That's the dumbest shit. And I will stand by that. I don't give a fuck if you love doing the shit. If you hear me right now and you one of those people that like mosh pits, you're an idiot. The fuck do you want to open up a circle and run full speed into people for? That literally is the definition of being brainless, nigga. Like, you, what the fuck is that? Fuck mosh pits, man. Start being more conscious about your surroundings, man. And if there were drugs involved, man, stay away from doing other people's drugs, man. If you brought your own, bring your own. Bring your own. Don't be out there doing other people's shit. Now, I'm not condoning drugs, man, but I know that people ain't going to stop doing drugs, so the best thing I could do is keep it real. If you're going to do drugs, man, bring your own. Quit taking other people's shit. I don't even smoke other people's weed. Don't pass me no blunt. Don't pass me no joint. Nigga, I got my own. Especially if I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself out there, man. This shit is getting wild. Fentanyl is running wild out here. And I'm not saying that this was a cause to anybody's death out there, but the speculation, just the speculation of possible drug use, man, be careful out there. That's all I have to say. Condolences to everybody that was involved, man, and sending positive and healing energy to all that was involved. GMS fan, man, if you guys are watching this, man, please do me a favor. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. I promise you, we got a lot more shit in store for y'all in the coming months and years. You're gonna see this show elevate. You're gonna see a lot more. You're gonna see other guests. We're gonna build the platform, man. Trust me, this is all because you guys continue to support. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I would most appreciate it. GMS fam, you know what time it is. If you haven't participated in the chat, now is your time. Put the GMS in the chat right now. Put GMS in the chat and I will shout you out. Appreciate y'all. Smoke something too, man. It's Saturday. Enjoy yourself. I gotta call my dad back. My dad been calling me. I wonder what's wrong, man. Oh, he trying to get me tickets to the motherfucking Timberwolves game tonight. Shit. Damn, Pops. Shout out to my dad, man. He said, hey, I'm trying to know if he trying to get some tickets tonight, brother. Oh, shit. Let me call him back before he calls somebody else. Hold on. Let me see what Pops. I might have missed the opportunity.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Good, man. I'm calling you to tell you that that game that they having with Kanye West, that they playing my brother-in-law's team, Darnell's.
Oh.
So he got a basketball team. So if y'all want to go, you have to meet me down there at 6:45 on the nose.
Oh. Okay.
And I got tickets for you, Arius, and Naya.
Well, Naya's gonna be with my mom and Arius. I'm gonna talk to Arius because there was some bowling thing going on tonight, but I would rather go to that.
Okay, well, let me know.
All right, let me call you back because I'm doing the show right now, so let me call you right back.
All right,
bye. Oh, not the Timberwolves. This is a Kanye West event. So I'm definitely trying to go to this shit, and I will definitely be documenting this when I go. So put the GMSs in the chat. God damn, that's crazy. Shout out to Pops. He just hooked me up with some Kanye West tickets tonight to go watch some. Man, I might go see Ye's fucked up haircut tonight, bro. You never know. Shout out to Kel Hill, Kid at Heart, Arius, Baby G, Prophylactic Tactics, C-Mo, CDT Beats, Don't Stop, BMX, The One, I Got Smoke for You, Kid at Heart, Ty the Beneficiary, Dip Levine. Oh, shit. That was random. But I think I'm going to be in the house tonight. Kanye got a little basketball team or some shit going on. And they going to be at the Target Center tonight. And my pops got a homie that has a team himself, so he got some tickets, you know. My dad be on some exclusive shit sometimes, so he hit the young one up and asked me if I wanted to go. So I guess I'm gonna pop out. We gonna see, man. It might be a nice little dope event. But anywho, GMS fam, the green room, thank y'all for popping up on me today. I appreciate y'all for showing love and supporting today. Like I said, hit the like button before you leave. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App if you are feeling generous. GMS fam, we out.